and welcome back to my channel. How are you doing? I hope you are doing really well. I'm so excited to be making the second part of my video on questions you should or should not ask an immigrant. If you missed the first part of this video on questions that you should not ask an immigrant, it will be linked in the description box below. Please definitely go and check it out. Today's video, I will share 10 questions that you can ask an immigrant that will help you learn a little more about them and will make them feel like you're really interested in them. And as I said in part 1, this is my opinion based on my experience. I'm sure other people's experiences are different. If you've had similar experiences or different experiences, please definitely share in the comment section below. I'm sure we can all learn from one another. And with all the questions that we ask, we need to check our intent and make sure that we're asking the questions for the right reason. I said this in part 1 and I'm saying it again. You always want the person that you're speaking to feel good about the questions that you're asking. So let's start with the first one. Your interest in finding out about people's cultural identity. If you're genuinely interested and curious about their heritage, these are some of the questions that you could ask. What is your cultural background? Where did you grow up? And each person might respond in a different way, depending on their preferences. I like to tell people the complex story of all the countries I've lived in because I feel like they contribute to who I am and how I identify today. There might be people who just want to tell you about one of the countries that they grew up or so. If you're wondering about their experiences living in a foreign country, there are many questions that you can ask. You can ask questions around the good things that they enjoy. You can ask, for example, what do you enjoy the most living here in California? Or where do you enjoy the most living here in Germany? And the greatest thing about asking that question is that they actually get to share some of the differences that they have seen, especially since you're asking them about positive things that they like. You'll probably get a good response. If you're trying to find more around this, I will recommend that you don't make an assumption that life here is better than wherever they grew up. You always want to come from a place of there's good in every country, and if you ask questions with that in the back of your mind, you will get great results. For example, you could ask, what were some of your favorite things growing up? They might talk about the food, they might talk about their family, they might talk about good things. And having them speak about positive experiences will not only make them happy, but it will make them give you good information. If you spot an accent or spot that they talk differently and you want to find out more around the different languages they speak, people typically want to share the other languages they speak because it is an art to speak multiple languages. So people are proud of it normally. If you're trying to probe to see if people are aware with things that are native to that country, I would recommend that you don't make an assumption that they know. For example, I moved to the US about 5 years ago. For example, I moved to the US almost 5 years ago. So if you ask me about American culture or different things that I should have known in my childhood, I typically would not know. So you want to ask probing questions like, where did you spend your childhood? Where did you grow up? Before you're trying to know more about a country or about the people in a country, there are many questions that you can ask. You can ask, for example, tell me more about the different tribes or the different cultures in Nigeria. People will typically want to share. I get this a lot, but people will walk up to me and ask me, oh, do you speak Nigerian? Or are you Igbo? Or are you Yoruba? That is, you're coming at the person with some assumptions. Ask them about the different tribes, and then you can ask them, and which tribe are you? See how I did that? You're smart about finding more out and then asking them a targeted question. If you're trying to find out more around the food that they enjoy and they identify with, you could ask, what are some foods that are local to Nigeria or that are local to Germany? If you ask me that, I will have greater responses for you because, as we all know, I love Nigerian food, so I have answers for that. If you want to know what connects an immigrant to their country of origin if you want to know what connects an immigrant to their country of origin or a country that they spent a lot of time in, you could ask them, what was your favorite part of living in X? What was my favorite part of living in Germany? I will tell you. What was my favorite part of living in Nigeria? I will tell you. Ask me positive questions and you'll get great responses. And if you're thinking about throwing a specific party for a holiday, you could ask, do you celebrate this holiday? How do you celebrate this holiday? What holidays do you celebrate? They don't mention the holiday that you might be thinking about. Tell them about it and be like, On 4th of July, we typically do X and Y, and I would like to invite you to it. I'd like to add a bonus question. One question that I've hardly ever been asked that I wish people would ask me is, how can I help you feel at home more here? It's interesting because as immigrants, we have a lot of adapting to do, and sometimes I wish I could just ask more questions, or I wish somebody was open enough to offer their help. It doesn't mean that we're suffering or anything is really bad. It just means that you could do something for somebody that they need. Like, it means that you're open to assist them. They might not have anything that they need help with, and that's perfectly fine, but if they do, they will know that you're someone they can reach out to. If you're an immigrant and you're watching this video, what type of questions would you have liked people to ask you? Some of those questions in the comment section below. I'm looking forward to seeing some of the questions that you add. And as with everything, if your intention is right, people will feel it and they will know, and they will give you great responses, and the world will be a better place. Really enjoyed making these videos. If you'd like to see me talk about more, like to see more of this type of videos, please definitely give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and add your comments and thoughts in the comment section below. I really enjoyed making this video. As you can tell, I've been smiling. I smiled in part 1 and like my cheeks hurt. Thank you so much for watching, and have an amazing day. Take care. Bye.